Hello and welcome to the Four Bells Fitness Emporium. We are doing workout from home number 25. So this is the beginning of our new 6-week cycle. So when we do 6-week cycles, what is the same? Well, the same is always the same. Here at the Four Bells Fitness Emporium, we have 5 overarching pillars of strength. We're looking at pushing, pulling, squatting, hinging, and core work, and they will always feature in our workouts. So today, we have a squatting focus day, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But our overarching theme that is going to run through the next 6 weeks, as we always like to have a theme to our 6 weeks, is what we are affectionately calling guts and butts. Now, the silly name of guts and butts aside, what it really means we're doing is we're trying to look at increasing abdominal strength. That's not just from the abdominals, from the front of us, from the anterior plane, but also strengthening the low back as well. And we're also going to look at glute engagement and getting the glutes a little bit stronger throughout this 6-week period. So, before we get into our workout today, let's talk about the warm-up. We have 3 movements to do today in the warm-up, and we're going to do them all 3 times. So we're going to start off with a downward facing dog toe tap, where we're going to look at stretching the posterior chain as a little bit of rotation as well. From there, we're going to look into wall squats, so kind of mobilize the hip. And we're also going to talk about an overhead option for that as well. And then last but not least, we are looking at the, as Coach Ben likes to call them, the low side step-in. I almost forgot what the name was for a second there. We are going to do 5 per touch of a toe on our downward facing dog toe taps. From there, we're going to do 5 wall squats, and then we're going to do 6 steps in each direction of our low side stepping. So when it comes to our downward facing dog, what we should be thinking about as always is, well, first of all, we know we're not in a yoga class. That's okay. I'm not expecting you guys to be yoga practitioners. But what I am trying to do is mobilize the posterior chain. Make sure the hamstrings, the calves, the ankles, as well as the shoulders get open. So I'm going to set up for my downward facing dog. An easy way to set up is quite straightforward. I have the hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. I'm going to push my heels into the floor and come up into that downward facing dog position. So I'm trying to drive the heels to the floor, stretch out the hamstring and the glute, but I'm also trying to open the shoulders as much as possible. From here I slowly rotate, touch one toe, place the hand back, rock back, touch that toe. We are going to do 5 touches per side for 10 total touches of our toes. From there we're going to get into our wall squat. So the wall squat is one of my favourite drills for looking at mobility for the squat because it addresses hip flexion as well as thoracic extension. So when it comes to starting off with my wall squat, if I know I don't have fantastic mobility, my advice would be to start with the feet maybe 6 inches away from the wall. From here I'm going to start by extending the chest and leading with the hips. So I push the hip back, driving the knees out as I control myself down to the bottom of that squat. If that feels pretty good and easy, I should always be trying to move that ball or box or whatever I have to sit on a little bit closer to the wall, and I should be trying to work to get those toes closer to the wall as well. If that feels good, you can maybe grab a band, maybe grab a PVC pipe, put that pipe overhead, and from there we're going to try an overhead squat variation on this mobility drill. So again, working with whatever works best for you, depending on what your mobility level is. With the low side stepping or a side shuffle, really what we're looking to do is activate the glutes here. So if you have a band, happy days, you can put your band on and it'll be just over the knees. If you don't have a band, that's completely fine too. All I'm going to do is push the hips back, drive the knees out, and try and engage the glutes as much as possible. I'm going to take 6 steps, so it'll be 5, 4, 1, and then from there go back to where I started from. The whole idea here, staying nice and low, keeping the glutes engaged. If you've got a band, use it. It will definitely help with glute activation. So for our warm-up today, downward facing dog toe taps. From there, we're doing wall squats. And last but not least, we're doing some low side step-in. We're doing that for 3 rounds. So for this cycle, as I've said, our focus, not outside of GPP, outside of general physical preparedness, is to look at guts and butts. What that really means is we're trying to get stronger abdominals as well as improve glute and hip strength. But what I know for a lot of you guys is that for some of you really like anecdotal performance increases. So like, oh, I can feel that I'm stronger in something. But for a lot of you guys, you actually prefer metrics. So a metric that we're going to use for this cycle, but is not what this whole cycle is about, is the time in which we can hold a hollow hold position. So, just like we've done our plank cycle, this is an isometric hold based on muscular endurance. How long can I hold that position for? And we're hoping to see some improvements in not only our strength, but our muscular endurance across this cycle. So when it comes to the hollow hold max time testing that we're going to do today, we have 3 options available, 3 levels of hollow hold that we are going to use. So with that in mind, all I really need is the floor, maybe a mat, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm going to start by just thinking first of all about that hollow body position. So when it comes to a hollow body position, what we're looking to replicate is the hollow hold position from gymnastics. So that really means that I'm trying to create almost like a shallow saucer with my body. So I want to press my low back into the floor and then brace my abdominals as I raise the legs and the hands off the floor. But of course, for everyone, depending on where you are with your strength level, there's different levels that we should be adhering to. So with that in mind, what I'm going to look at is how do I start the hollow hold, and then what level should I choose? So how do I start a hollow hold? I push the low back down into the floor. I want to brace the abs if someone's going to come on and punch me in the stomach. From here, I'm going to get into level 1. So level 1 is where I push my low back down, but I raise my legs off the floor, roughly about a 90-degree bend with the legs, and I reach forward with the hands. So I'm bringing the shoulder blades off the mat, reaching forwards with the hands, and this is level 1. Now normally in the gym we do level 2 with a single leg, but we're not going to talk about that for the testing this week. From here, the next level we're going to go to for our testing is level 2 with both legs straight, but notice how the low back is still staying connected to the floor. And level 3 is those arms overhead when we do our hollow hold. So when we're doing either level 1, 2 or 3, what I should be thinking to myself is, which one of those levels can I hold for at least 30 seconds? And then I'm going to try and see if I can improve that time with that level. I'm not going to change to a different level. I'm going to stay with that level for the remainder of the 6 weeks and see how much of an improvement I can make. So remember, it's one time, one shot, max hold, pick a level, and that's going to be our test today. So with our strength piece for workout 25, we are looking at unilateral leg strength in squatting patterns, and a big emphasis on mobility in those squatting patterns. And we're also looking at working the posterior chain at the same time. So I like to do antagonist pairings, squatting and hinging together, quads and hamstrings, so we make the most out of our time and that we don't ideally, hopefully, directly affect our each lift too much while we're doing it. So when I'm doing my strength piece today, I'm going to do 5 sets. Each set is 3 minutes long, split into 2 90-second windows of time. So in my first 90 seconds, I have to complete 5 per leg of a Cossack squat, and you can either go side to side, or you can do all 5 on one side and all 5 on the other, entirely up to you. Of course, we'll talk about that in a second. And then from there, once that 90 seconds is up, and I should have some rest time, I come into my second 90 seconds, which is going to be some kind of hinging in a deadlift pattern. So when we're looking at our deadlift today, if you have a barbell available or a trap bar, we should be looking to do 5 reps. And if I can, getting progressively heavier as those 5 sets go on. And when we are looking at our single leg deadlift, we should be doing 5 reps per leg on those 2. So if I have barbell available, use it. And if I'm at home with maybe limited equipment available, we're going to talk about how to do single leg deadlifts with either 1 dumbbell or 2 dumbbells or a kettlebell. So when we get into our strength piece today, Cossack squats are an easy movement if you have good mobility in the lower body. So the problem with the Cossack squat is that it relies on squat patterns, but you also need to be very mobile and very flexible in a whole manner of ways. So to start off with the Cossack squat, I need to have my base very wide. So think Jean-Claude Van Damme. From here, what I'm going to do is shift my weight across and then back. So I'm looking that when I'm in that position, I'm still in a squat position. Ankle closed, knee closed, hip closed. But of course in my Cossack squat, I'm going to replicate that just on one side. So as I come across into my Cossack squat, I'm going to find I need good ankle dorsiflexion, I need to have good knee flexion, good hip external rotation flexion. Can I keep my chest up? And also, do I have a good and reasonably flexible adductor or groin and hamstring? From here, I'm going to go over to the other side and see how that feels. I notice on this side, I'm a little bit tighter than I am on the other side. If you're looking at this thinking, well, that's great. If I do that, I may explode. Then we need to think about a few ways to make it a little bit easier. So one of the easiest things that everyone's going to have at home is going to be door frame or a post or a door. And all I'm going to do is just use that frame or that post to assist me a little bit if I feel like I need some help with balance when I get into those bottom positions. If that is available to you, use it. If not, it could be holding onto your TRX when you do your Cossack squats, shifting the weight from one side to the other and using the arms to assist you a lot. If you find that mobility and balance is pretty easy for you and you want to add some weight to it, I would recommend doing all 5 reps on one side and maybe start with loading with a light kettlebell. From there I use that weight as I come across into one side and then stand up, and I will repeat all 5 reps on one side versus the other. From there, when we come into our deadlifts today, if you have a barbell available, use it. As always, when we're doing our deadlifts, particularly on a straight bar, I want to find that position where I can create the most velocity. So we're not doing a sumo deadlift here, which relying a lot on hip flexibility and strength. What I'm trying to use is the whole posterior chain, from the hamstrings, the glutes to the low back. And I need to have that stance where I feel I can generate a lot of force vertically. So if I'm on the bar, feet about hip width, I'm going to set the hands up, and from there make sure the spine is nice and neutral as I bring that chest up. Shoulders and hips raised together, hips come through, I then push the hips back, and then the shoulders and hips come down again. So the way up and the way down should be mirrors of each other. We're going to do 5 reps, and if I can, and I have the resources available, we should be getting progressively heavier as those 5 reps go on and those 5 sets go on. From there, last but not least, single leg deadlifts. If I have a barbell, I could use a barbell. If I have 2 dumbbells, use 2 dumbbells. If I only have 1 dumbbell, you can use it. But the idea is we're going to stand on that leg, more of a Romanian deadlift position as I push the hips back. The hips do not come down here, we're just pushing the hip back, loading the hamstring and the glute. And I'm going to do 5 reps per leg. So, Cossack squats, 5 reps per leg. If I'm on a barbell with my deadlifts, it's going to be just 5. If I'm doing single leg deadlifts, it's 5 per side. So our conditioning piece for workout 25 is brought to you from the majestic brain of Coach Ben Brock. Today's workout is a 12-minute AMRAP where we are going through these 3 movements. The first movement is actually a compound movement where we are doing a reverse lunge on one leg, a reverse lunge on the other leg, and then a jumping squat. So a lot of emphasis on the glutes there. Those 3 movements together equals 1 rep. We're going to do those for 10 reps first of all. So technically you could argue 30 reps, but it's a combo. From there we're going to do 10 slow mountain climbers where we're focusing on a little bit of shoulder stability as well as bracing with the abdominals as we get into a slow mountain climber piece. From there, when we come into our fast mountain climbers, you're going to notice a slight difference in terms of foot positioning, how explosive we are with the hip, and slightly different ranges of motion with the foot and the hip as well. So, if we're talking about reverse lunges and jump squats, when it comes to those 3 movements, what I'm thinking about doing is trying to be as fluid as possible. So it's like reverse lunge, jump squat. That's 1 rep. Reverse lunge, jump squat. That's 2. So that's how we should approach it today. So however you want to be, whatever stance works best for you. Ideally, when I'm doing any kind of lunge, I want to have my feet on train tracks. I'm going to step back, reverse lunge, feet together, jumping squat, absorb the force, stand up, reverse lunge, jumping squat, absorb that force, and that's how we're going to look in our first exercise of kind of 3 movements together. From there we come into our slow mountain climbers. I'm going to be in that plank position. And I'm going to start with 1 foot forward like that sprinter stance. I'm going to not allow my toe to touch the floor. And I'm just going to bring the knee forward, brace the abs. Imagining someone was trying to kick me as hard as possible. Super slow for 10 reps. From there, once I've done my 10 reps, I'm going to bring the foot outside the hands, and we're going to do 20, nice and fast, with the feet. Reverse lunge, squat. We're doing that for 10 reps. I'm doing 10 or 5 per side of a slow mountain climber, and then 20 or 10 per side of a fast mountain climber. We're doing that for a 12-minute AMRAP today, and that's the conditioning piece.